Oh, hey guys. It's Erin here from Erin Denise Yoga. So a funny thing happened to me the other day and I wanted to share it with you. I was doing a return over the weekend. So I went into the store and I went over to the line where the cashiers were, and there was a lady in front and she was looking at some items, but I suspected she was in line, so I kept my distance and I waited behind her. And then she noticed I was there. Um, and said she wasn't in line and that I should go ahead. I said, "Great, thank you very much, ma'am." And there I went ahead and I took my place in line, and I was just waiting. There was a fellow at the cashier, so I was waiting, patiently waiting my turn. Doody doody do. And then all of a sudden I feel this energy, like something's wrong, something's different. I don't know what it is. So I look up and I see across there's like a stand here with store items, and I see across on the other side is a man there, and he's looking at the cashier, and I'm thinking, I don't think. Well, all of a sudden I'm in fear, right? I'm like, oh man, I don't think he was there before. Am I cutting him or he's cutting me? I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that I was here first. So first of all, I'm worried, freaking out, for lack of a better term, but not really. Of course, all in good context, right? So that's my initial reaction is, what? And then I'm like, oh, well, I guess I'll just wait and see what he does. And then something inside me is bubbling up and says, well, don't wait. Why don't we just we don't need to wait for someone to come. I can just ask him what he's doing and find out. So there don't I go, and I pipe up over to him and I said, "Oh, hi, sir." I said, I didn't think you were here before me, or were you? Or I'm not sure what's going on." And he looks at me and he says, "Oh, you know what? I just have a quick question for the cashier." And that sinks down into me and I think, well, I just have a one item return here, and I was here first. So before I could think, this part of me bubbles up, and I smile back over to him and I say, well, I held up my box that I had and I said, "Well, I just have a quick return." And didn't he pull back then and say, "Oh, well, I couldn't find anyone out on the floor, yada yada yada," and he felt well, I'm sure he felt either guilty or something else for trying to cut me in line. Why did I want to share this story? It's a little funny story, and a lot of people might think I was the rude person. But I ask you, was I? To me, this is an example of self love. If I was there with a friend or with a partner, they'd likely speak up on my behalf, right, and had asked that person to take his rightful place in line. But I was there alone. I had to do it on my own. So it's a little bit different, right? But if I were to let him go in front of me, what would that say to myself? How, right? I would be saying things, "Oh yes, I'm less than. He deserved to go in front of me. He maybe has more important things to do." But I had important things to do. I had a lot of things to do. And in fact, there was another lady working on the floor that was meant to come and help him. He didn't need to take my place, and if he did need to take my place, he could ask, right? So sometimes it's hard for us to imagine, how does yoga transfer from the mat into our real life? And a lot of times it's hard to give these examples, but the reality is the more that we practice, the more that we become aware of what's happening inside. When we do it on the mat, we can also do it at the store. So in that moment that he hit me, he said, "I just have a question," and that hit me, and I felt it immediately. I felt, geez, well, that doesn't feel good inside me, and I'm going to take action right now to do something about it. This is our yoga practice in action, coming off the mat. And it is also this act of self-love. The more that we recognize ourselves as important, as the more we validate ourselves, and having a consistent yoga practice is an incredible way to do that, to bring this relationship of ourselves, our bodies, our hearts, all into unison, all into one. It's a practice that blesses me absolutely profoundly, and every day, even when I'm doing a simple return at the store. I hope you enjoyed my story. I've recently started a new online platform, online Sangha Community memberships, and I would so enjoy for you to join us. If you thought this was funny, if you're interested to learn a little bit more about how yoga can serve not only your mind and body, but also can serve you out in the world, and to help you with better skills to stand up for yourself and to recognize when someone is infringing on your boundaries, or etc. These are all tools that come out of the yoga toolbox, out of the wellness toolbox, and I'd be so happy to share with you. I'll put all the information in the bottom of the video where you can sign up, and you can definitely email me or private message me with any questions. So wishing you a lovely day.